Please subscribe and don't forget to press the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload a new video.
Hello, welcome to Your Stocks. I'm Nigel D'Souza. With me is Mangalam Malu. As we speak, the market's trading in the red, and that's really been the story for most part of the day. But we've recovered a tad bit from the low point of the day. Hey, Mangalam.
Hi, Nigel. Absolutely. We have recovered, still holding on to that 10,800 mark. Seems like a bit of a fulcrum, but then we're getting some news coming in on individual stocks. This one's from Newsrise. Newsrise says that the Finance Ministry or the source that Finance Ministry official has said that there is an aim to disinvest all the ITDC hotels in this fiscal year. Well, this is not the first time news like this has come by. I remember over the last 5-6 years, at least, twice or thrice a year we get this news. So let's keep an eye out on what happens. In reality, these are agency-based officials, quotes attributed to Finance Ministry officials. Nothing concrete as of now. But the stock has moved to upper circuit, and that's something that always happens when a news piece like this comes in. That's primarily because in excess of 90% of the company's float is with the government or government institutions. So very less free float in the market, which leads to such exacerbated moves as far as individual stocks is concerned. So we'll keep an eye out on ITDC, but we will also talk about markets. Before we do that, Nigel, what has the collection for the kitty for the betting for FIFA World Cup been in our office so far?
There's no betting, Mangalam. People are, just going out there. They're putting their names. We're not taking any money. It's a charitable thing.
It's a charitable thing.
I'll be giving the free dinner as well as lunch for that day because that's from my end of things.
That's rather kind.
Yeah, that's rather kind. So that's what we'll...
rather honest as well.
Yeah, I mean, for your wedding, I'm telling you, the day you announce
I don't know why you keep...
I'm going to be giving a free lunch for sure. That's on me on national television, Mangalam. But for the time being, let's get to the top stories.
Okay, we get to the top stories. Subdued global markets take a toll on the Wall Street, but the Sensex and the Nifty, however, trade off the day's low. Mid-cap index too in the red, but outperforms the frontliners.
And the global markets, they trade weak after the US Fed Reserve hikes rates for the second straight time. They signal more rate hikes ahead. All eyes now on the European Central Bank. Their meeting scheduled for later this evening.
Infosys completes 25 years on Dalal Street. The stock has been a pure wealth creator, giving returns of 6,800 times since 1993. Ramesh Damani says Infosys is to India what Ford was to America in the early 1920s, while Vallabh Bhanshali says Infosys is responsible for shaping India Incorporated in the last 25 years.
And CNBC TV18 investigative report learns that lenders to Everest Kanto have moved towards conducting a forensic audit into its books. SBI and ICICI Bank may soon appoint a forensic auditor for the company. The stock is under pressure today.
And for football fans world over, wait is over. 4 years of waiting finally ends tonight as the host nation Russia opened their campaign against Saudi Arabia at Luzhniki Stadium in Moscow tonight. Nigel, are you watching it?
For sure, Mangalam. I'm a die-hard football fan. I'm going to be watching it. I'll tell you what, we're going to be aiming at training as well, like a football player. So let's hope a couple of kgs off in the next 1 month or so. I need to get into shape as well.
All right, a six-pack by the end of this football
like
season.
Right now.
Okay, that comes for Nigel. But what I'm watching out for right now is the Afghanistan and India test match. Yes, it is a walkover that Afghanistan is giving India, but just for the context, it's the first test match that Afghanistan is playing. So great for the historical perspective. We'll watch out for that. But let's move on to answer all our stock queries. And today we have with us Vijay, Chopra and Rajat, Bose joining us to answer all your viewer stock queries. Thanks a lot, gentlemen, for joining in. We will definitely get you the viewer queries, and through the course of the show, we will ask you your favorite football teams and your picks for the World Cup as well. So let's move on. We have Ishan P writing to us from Amravati, wants to buy 50 shares in Alembic Pharma for the long term, wants to know when is the right time to enter the market. Vijay, Alembic Pharma, what's your view? The stock is holding in the green today. Earlier, remember, there was some news that came by in today's trading session itself that they got a US FDA approval for doxycycline, an antibiotic drug. So your view on the pharmaceutical space as a whole, and he wants to buy Alembic Pharma. Do you think that's the right stock to buy right now?
Well, doxycycline is one of the very old third generation antibiotics, and it is nothing great to have approvals for that. But I think that there are better options available today. I think if somebody wants to be in the pharma space, and I've been reiterating since almost maybe 4-5 months that pharma is in the process of bottoming out, and we've seen the green shoots already. So if you want to be in pharma, be in Lupin or a Glenmark or a Dr. Reddy's rather than being in Alembic. Frontliners would give a better return on investment as of now. And I would always recommend that be with the front runners and the top rung companies rather than being in the second rung companies. And Alembic, quote unquote, is in the second rung stage. So I would say that you can get into a Dr. Reddy's or maybe a Lupin or a Glenmark, and the return on investment would be much better, and avoid Alembic as of now.
All right. Would you have a view on Alembic Limited, the parent company, which I believe has the land and there's a play in the real estate and stuff as well out there, or just stick to the names you just suggested?
Well, I said that it's always better to be with the front run companies, and if you talk about Dr. Reddy's, which has been sideways for a number of years now, and look at Sun Pharma from a bottom of almost 380, 390, it has sprung to 540. But there are other stocks which have not run up as much as Sun Pharma. So I would think that Lupin would give a better opportunity for investment than Alembic. Although it is also a good company, as of now as a sector, pharma is doing well, and most of the good companies should do well in this time. But if you want better return on investments, I think that the front runners should be in your portfolio rather than being in the second run companies.
Okay, all right. So that's the advice coming in there from Vijay. He says if you're looking to play pharma, stick with the top-notch stocks, stick with the frontliners. That's the advice that's coming in there. But let's get to our next caller. We have Saja, who calls us from Andhra Pradesh with a query. I believe he has investments in Mahindra Cie. Hi Saja, how can we help you?
Yeah, my name is Venkatesh, calling from Visakhapatnam. I am holding the stocks of 100 for Mahindra Cie at the rate of 50. I want to hold it for a long term.
So just to interrupt you, sir, I didn't get your name.
Venkatesh.
Venkatesh, all right. So let's change that first on the plate. Venkatesh, I believe you're a student?
Yeah.
You're what, 20 years old or 25 years?
23. 23.
Good to see, Venkatesh, starting young.
Thank you.
Believe in the stock markets. It's always good, but you need to get into the right stocks. I believe that you have bought Mahindra Cie. Sorry to interrupt you. If you could give us your query, what price you bought it at? What's your time horizon? Are you looking to hold it for the longer time?
I brought 100 quantity.
Okay.
At the rate of 250.
Okay.
And I want to hold it for the long term.
Okay. All right. You want to hold it for the long term then. Thanks so much for calling, Venkatesh. Let's get you some advice on this one. We'll get you a technical as well as a fundamental advice. Rajat, coming across to you. What's your view there? He's making some money. Should he hang in there for the long term and make a lot of money?
I would suggest so. Actually, this stock has been consolidating over the last couple of years or so. You can say that when the market moved so much, this stock didn't give much of a return over the last 2 years. But the kind of consolidation that it is going through, once it takes out 250, 270 supply zone, then you will see that a lot of bullish momentum would be there. That once it gets its gumption, I think this automotive ancillary stock would really do well. So I would suggest that put a stop loss below 225 on closing price basis. That is the 200 exponential moving average for the stock, and carry on, because patience would pay here.
Patience would pay. All right.
All right. Let's see, because the last 12 months, the stock has given returns of about 8%. We will keep an eye out on what goes on and the kind of money that patients, the kind of returns that the patients would pay. Vijay, your view on Mahindra Cie, always the analysts say the big trigger for them is Mahindra consolidating all its agri businesses, and that is what perhaps will take the stock higher. But fundamentally, with in the way the company is right now, do you think it's a good bet?
Well, one thing I would like to tell you that, Mahindra has been one of the companies with an impeccable track record on their top corporate governance, the way they have shaped their product portfolio, and of course their sales. And I think that over the years we have seen that Anand Mahindra has shaped the company wonderfully well, and this consolidation move is definitely going to add on to the feathers they already have in their cap. Mahindra Cie, I completely concur with Rajat sir that patience can pay over a period of time. So I would say that if somebody is a long-term investor, stay invested in the stock. My take is it's quite possible that it goes beyond 300 also. So stay invested in the stock, and I'm sure that times are coming where you will get a very good return on your investment.
All right, Venkatesh, so both our technical and fundamental guests concur on their view. The stock can actually make you richer by almost 40 rupees per share from where it is right now. 300 is the target that Vijay is saying, as well as Rajat saying patience will pay. Let's move on to the next one. Then we have V. Bajirao calling us from Chandigarh with a query. Mr. Bajirao, go ahead.
Yes, sir. Sir, I hold a Hindustan Copper 500 shares bought as long ago as 8 to 9 years when the face value of the share was 10 rupees.
All right.
Then subsequently government made the face value to half of it, 5 rupees. And however, we did not get any benefit of that. Thereafter FPU occurred and the shares is presently trading at almost 50% of my original purchase price of 150.
Oh, all right. But
it has been a very long term of 8 to 9 over 9 years, and I'm still hoping for a better future for my stock holding.
All right, so we will get you some advice on that one. But in the meanwhile, just one word, Mr. Bajirao, that stock splits, stock bonus over the longer period of time don't really return value to investments because the price adjusts itself for the split or the 1:1 bonus that has been given. So your point that, or your expectation that there would be a bit of a change as far as face value split is concerned or a bonus is concerned in terms of the stock price, usually never happens. So we will watch out for that. But in the meanwhile, Vijay, your view on Hind Copper, he's been stuck for about 10 years is what he's saying, and losing half his capital.
But I think that it is a good time to average Hindustan Copper. If you ask me, if somebody holds with another 2-3 years, maybe 4 years perspective, this stock can even treble from here. Reasons are that global commodity prices are firming up, and so is copper. I see copper maybe reaching about 550-600 odd levels also in the years to come, and that would help Hindustan Copper to bolster its balance sheet. And of course, being a public sector company, there are issues related to it, but I think that the commodity prices would help the company to prop up the balance sheet, and it has the potential of going up to maybe 150 to 200 levels. So hold on, and I would say if you have some money average at these levels, it's a decent company to have in a portfolio.
All right, so that's the advice coming in there from our expert Vijay Chopra. By the way, I think we'll slip into a short break. You come back, we'll continue our focus on the markets as well as answer all your queries. All right, just keep an eye out on Ashok Leyland. Now, that's the stock you should be focusing on the back of this news that Hinduja Leyland Finance, they're looking at filing an IPO. Just to give you a few basic numbers, in the recent transaction in the last 1 year, Ashok Leyland had acquired 4.7% stake for 225 crores. Now, that's telling you that, in fact, Ashok Leyland's stake in the company moved from around 57% to around 61.9%. Going by those valuations, if they bought around 4.7% for around 225 crores, then their 61% stake will be valued at around 2,960 crores or thereabouts. The current market capitalization is roughly around 42,500 crores. So that would mean roughly around 5 to around 6%, depending on how much they're selling as well. Everstone is the other big owner out there. They have a stake of around 10%.
Absolutely. And I was reading an old brokerage report, in fact, which came as recently at the start of this month itself. And they're ascribing a value of 5 rupees per share of Ashok Leyland to him.
I think it's done the full 5 rupees.
It's done more than 5 rupees, actually. If you pull up the intraday chart, it's about 3.5% as far as the price is concerned. So 5 rupees per share is the value of Hinduja Leyland in Ashok Leyland. So 2.5 rupees.
And they're looking to dilute a very small
stake. So perhaps that is what is reflecting in right now's price. So we'll keep an eye out on that. But what we have been talking about all through today's trading session and all through the day as well, Baba Ramdev's Patanjali Ayurveda, it has been in the eye of the storm after it launched its Kimbo app to take on WhatsApp. Following security concerns, the app was taken off the Play Store only hours after its launch. Speaking exclusively to our Priya Sheth, Patanjali's Managing Director, Acharya Balakrishna clarifies the company's stance on Kimbo.
सिम कार्ड हम लोग नहीं कर रहे थे। वस्तुतः ये था कि BSNL वालों का बहुत समय से आग्रह था कि हम पतंजलि या पतंजलि से जुड़े लोगों को, हमारे जो टीचर्स हैं, हमारे जो एम्प्लॉयज़ हैं, उनको हम कुछ स्पेशल डिस्काउंट देना चाहते हैं। तो उन्होंने पतंजलि के साथ जोड़ करके वो एक स्पेशल डिस्काउंट के प्रोग्राम के ऊपर हम लोगों ने काम किया। वो BSNL वालों की योजनाएँ थी, हमारी नहीं थी। हमको तो बेनिफिट दे रहे थे तो हम उसको यूज़ कर रहे हैं, बस इतनी ही बात है। हाँ, ये ज़रूर है कि अभी हम लोग एक ऐप के ऊपर बड़ा काम कर रहे हैं और हम लोग व्हाट्सएप की जगह पर अभी उसको लेकर के आने वाले हैं। तो आप विश्वास नहीं करोगे, सिर्फ 2-2.5 घंटे के अंदर करीबन जो है 3 लाख लोगों ने तो डाउनलोड किया और करीबन कुछ घंटों में करीबन जो मेरे पास इंफॉर्मेशन है वो 37 करोड़ लोगों ने उन्होंने जो है वो सर्च करी ऐप के विषय में। और उसी दिन एक ही दिन में ही 35 या 37 तो लोगों ने एक नकली बना डाली। तो ये सारी चीज़ें हमको देता है।
हम ये किम्बो के बारे में बात करते हैं तब बहुत ज़्यादा सिक्योरिटी कंसर्न्स के बारे में भी बात की जाती है कि उसके वजह से आपने शायद ये ऐप को प्ले स्टोर से निकाल दिया।
सिक्योरिटी वाला इशू नहीं है। सिक्योरिटी की जगह पर देखो, सिक्योरिटी की जगह क्या कि जैसा हम लोगों का जहाँ पर सर्वर था वो जितना हम लोगों ने स्पेस ले रखा था उन्होंने सोचा ही नहीं था और उनको भी लगा कि ये क्या हो गया। कभी किसी आज तक दुनिया के किसी ऐप में कुछ घंटों में ऐसा प्रेशर और इतना लोड और इतने लोगों ने वो किया हो, ये पहली घटना थी। और दूसरी बात सिक्योरिटी के लिए मैं आपको ये बताना चाहता हूँ, हम लोगों ने हैकर्स लगा रखे हैं। हमने कह रखा तुम हैक करके दिखाओ हमारे सिस्टम को, और मुझे खुशी है इस बात को कहते हुए हम लोगों ने कई सारी कंपनी हायर करी है और अभी तक एक ने भी कुछ भी सिक्योरिटी फीचर्स के हिसाब से वो हैक नहीं कर सका।
दूसरी चीज़ जो लोग बता रहे हैं कि ये जो ऐप है वो बोलो ऐप जो है उसके ऊपर ही बनाया गया है, तो उसके विषय में आप क्या बताना चाहते हैं?
नहीं, ऐसा कि जो टीम थी वो हमारी जो टीम है बाहर, उन्होंने विदेशों में काम किया, वो हमारे एक्सपर्ट की टीम थी। उन लोगों ने पहले ढांचा बनाया हुआ था, वो बोलो ऐप के नाम से था।
तो कब ये लॉन्च होगा ये ऐप?
ये बहुत जल्दी, मेरा विचार है कि अभी हमारा जो इंटरनेशनल योगा डे है उसके आसपास।
All right, so that is Acharya Balakrishna breaking his silence on the Kimbo app controversy. But Nigel, you know the name Kimbo is a Sanskrit translation of the literal word that we use to meet people and say, hey, what's up? So Kimbo.
What's up?
All right, so on that note, we will end your stocks. Stay tuned to CNBC TV18. All right, we slip into a short break.
You come back, we'll continue answering all your queries. Stay with us.
All right, welcome back. You're watching Your Stocks. Just keep an eye out on a couple of these pharmaceutical stocks. Lupin, that one has seen some purchase at the low end of the day and currently trading at the high point. All these pharmaceutical stocks, in fact, this week itself, Lupin is up 10% and this month it's up 16%. We will keep an eye out on individual stocks, but we have Rajesh Kumar writing to us from Ludhiana, wants to buy 500 shares of Graphite India for the long term, wants to know whether to buy it right now or wait. Rajat, your view technically, because fundamentally we keep getting commentary coming in from the management. They believe demand is fairly strong, but a sharp move that Graphite India has had, what would you recommend as far as the charts are concerned to our viewer? And as you do that, also tell us your pick for the FIFA World Cup.
Well, I would say that first let me just talk about graphite. Graphite is a case in point. It actually illustrates two things, what we have been discussing in this show, whether patients would pay or not. May 2010, 111. 2017 May, graphite, 112. 7 years, 1 rupee return, and then in 6 months, 7 times. But after that, it is actually now consolidating. So now to enter it, you have to wait. I mean, currently it's not a buy. I would say that if at all you need to buy this stock, do not expect the kind of performance that people have seen between July and January. It would be much more placid kind of a performance, but buying price would be around 625. And another thing that the graphite illustrates is that sometimes your wait could be pretty long. 3-4 years may not actually
FIFA?
do the trick. So that's it. And FIFA choice is Argentina. Although I know that it's not the favorite team. Actually, from a technical perspective, not technical analysis of stocks, or from a technical perspective, I would say that if I were to really go by performance, then Germany should have been the choice. But I have a special preference for Latin American teams.
All right, Vijay, you want to give us a bit quickly?
Yeah, we want my take on the World Cup?
Yeah, just the team name.
I think that, I like Spain and Portugal, so any of these two I would be very happy.
Okay.
All right, so the technical call is Argentina and the fundamental call is Spain. With that, we're out of time on your stocks. Stay tuned to CNBC TV18 closing.